Hello everyone. Am I audible? Please write in the chat box.
Yes,
Thank you so much, sir. Okay, so our today's topic is, as you can all see on the slide, it is body language, which is a very essential part of communication. So without wasting any time, let us begin with our today's topic. So all of you know what is body language, what all of you know what is actually language, and you all would also be knowing that even our body speaks, even body has a language. It is mainly through the gestures, through the expressions, our way of standing, sitting. So all these together constitute our body language. Now, body language, or rather communication, it plays a very, very important role in a business, in our personal life, as well as in our professional life. So here we are going to speak in terms of professional life first. Now, first and foremost, the most important thing in a body language is the posture, the way we sit, the way we stand, then the handshake, our hands contact with the other person, our eye contact. It should be simply a pleasant eye contact. It should not be a frown. We should not be staring at the other person. And a simple, pleasant smile on our faces, as well as the appearance, whatever appearance is there, whatever we are wearing, the way we are dressed, all these together constitute to an important part and contributes to our body language. Is my screen shared? Please could you reply in the chat, or anyone could unmute and tell me. Okay. So now how to improve our body language? There are different points which I have written here. The way we sit or stand. So in that, we should remember, don't cross your arms or legs. It should not be crossed. It gives a negative impression on the other person. Our eye contact, as I told you, it should be in a positive, in a pleasant way. It should not be literally staring or frowning at the other person. We should not be afraid to take our own space. We should relax our shoulders. The body should be completely relaxed. We should not continuously keep touching our face, fidgeting, or trying to show like feeling nervous and keep on touching our face. And the attitude with which we meet the other person, it should be a very good, pleasant attitude which we should have. Now, there are different elements of communication, and in the order as they appear, the most important part of any communication is the body language, which constitutes to 55% of communication. The second most important is the tone of voice, the tone of our voice, which constitutes to 38%. And the third, which is very important, but still it constitutes to only 7%, and that is words, the way we speak, the words which we choose to speak. So we should always choose whatever we are wanting to speak. It should be chosen very wisely. Now, related to body language only, and since we are discussing here about communication, and communication also in terms of professional life, in terms of business, so we are going to we are going to discuss certain points on business communication as well. Now, what is communication? Now, does anyone know how to get rid of this which is coming here on the screen? No? Okay. Let us continue then. So what is communication? It is sending or receiving messages, and sending and receiving messages also in an effective manner or in a very effective way. So the other person should understand clearly and very well whatever we are trying to convey to that person. Now, the key to personal and career success, no doubt, is effective communication. And body language is an essential part of communication, as we have just discussed. Now, this is a flow of communication in a business organization, in an industry, in a factory, in a workplace, simply. So it is divided into three kinds of categories. One is downward communication, which are messages and information which reaches from which reaches from our superiors to the subordinates, from your boss or the head of an institution or whosoever is your superior. So it reaches down. So this is downward communication. It reaches in the form of instructions or the procedures to be followed. And then there are certain visions and goals which have to be met by the subordinates or the people who are there working under the superior. And then another form is upward communication. Now, upward communication is in an opposite manner. The problems uh, which the employers are facing, and then it comes in the form of suggestions which is given by a middle person who is there. The suggestions are conveyed to the person who is your superior or to your boss. So then he or she gets a feedback on whatever they had conveyed to their employers. Next is horizontal communication, which is throughout the organization. There should be proper problem solving between the subordinates, which are at equal position. Then there should be proper coordination between different departments which are there in an organization. And it also concerns interdepartmental communication, which means different departments which are there, proper coordination as well as proper understanding should be there between different departments. Now, these are some different methods and ways of communication. It could be in the form of meetings, it could be in the form of webinars or workshops, it could be through different media like the mail, different reports which are presented, different simple presentations in the form of PowerPoint presentations, etc., telephonic conversation, inter-office, in between the office to office, person to person, and through newsletters as well. Now, the medium of communication, in the medium of communication, now the email or the messages constitute to 7% of communication. The telephonic conversation where we speak, directly speak, this is written mode. This is when we are speaking to the other person, though it is telephonic, so it constitutes to 45% of it. And when the person is present in front of us, and when it is one-to-one communication, or one to a group, or group to a one, or vice versa, then it is 100% communication. Now, there are different ways of business communication. These are certain points which are there. Write the way you speak. Take a positive approach whenever we are speaking or communicating, whether by writing, whether by speaking. It should be, the approach should be positive. We should analyze the benefits, the assets, and the negative points of it. We should always write at the correct level. Think wisely, plan in your mind, and then produce it. Then write it or speak it out. Never send communications. Never communicate with anyone when you are very angry. Because once a mail is sent, you cannot delete it from the other person's mail ID. Anticipate questions, remove acronyms and jargons. Longer is necessarily better. We should always be patient, careful before trying to communicate when we are angry. And finally, if we have done effective communication, definitely we are going to get a positive feedback. Now, these are certain points to remember regarding communication. We should always speak with conviction. We should not read from any kind of notes. We should not torture with excessive information. Do not keep on over delivering. We should always use punctuation marks and always be a little humorous when we are talking to the other person. We should always end with a very interesting punchline. And definitely, last but not the least, we should always remember to thank the audience. So, here it is, a very big thank you for you for being so patient, understanding, and for listening in a very, very patient manner. And I hope it was very, very effective for you. Now, these are certain points which are related to public speaking. Oh, now you are going to think, why am I going to talk about public speaking now? Yes, a little bit about it. I'm going to tell you about what is public speaking, and many of you might be interested in learning public speaking. So, here we come. There's a free webinar which we are going to have on public speaking. There's a link given in the description. Register for that free webinar. And I promise you, you are not going to regret it. You are going to get many free bonuses which are attached to it. Register on the link and you will get all the details directly into your mailbox. Okay, with this, we just end this webinar. If there are any questions, if any one of you wants to ask, you are most welcome to do so. So please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Is there any